go try to catch him now.
Can't miss that.
Can't miss that.
Especially not with rain.
Yes. So it was just trying to come up live as they were telling me that they, even though they just now started with Seth, which I missed, they're going to go out to Cameron because there is thunder and lightning and the potential for rain, and lions hate the rain. And I'm so sorry, I forgot to wear my little microphone cover. So this is going to be pretty noisy as I pedal to try and keep up. Might want to turn your volume down till we get to Cameron. Apologize to those of you who are saying stuff. I can't read and ride this fast without hitting a barricade. I hope they get to Cameron before he moves away from the wall of the cage. I hear some woohooing over there. Oh, there's that boo getting up and stretching.
You missed Kathryn's heroic save. When they came to pick up the tour water, they dropped one of the cone cups. She didn't even stop the cart.
Nice job. I saw that laying there. I thought I should go back for that. So thank you for doing the right thing.
Well, you know, we're in a cart.
Yeah, doing it on my bike would have been a bit of a challenge. Thank you, ma'am.
Hi, are you ready? Are you ready to eat, pumpkin? Ready for Yoni? Yeah?
Deanne, I'm glad you caught alive too.
Hi. Hey, alright.
Hey, Laura.
Like that.
Bernal, love from the Brotherhood of the Jaguar. Hey, Deb and Barb and Diana and Pranab. Kathy, I do that all the time. I either say bug cats or big cars. When I type, it's like, those are the two things my fingers want to type. I should really have started a big car rescue.
A big car rescue.
My husband would like that.
We would have got him out here volunteering, huh?
Oh, good, Kathryn. Uh-oh. He's got it all over his paws.
Hey, Lori, here with you, girl. Christine, she's pretty close to Cameron, but his feet are so big they're not going to fit through that wire, so we don't have to worry about that. She's using tongs to put the
Stay
food
over
through.
here. Stay over here. Sabu. Thank you.
They were funny on vacation. They were really acting a lot younger than they are. Tracy wants to know what he's getting.
So I started with turkey.
Oh,
And then this is ground beef, which he's kind of not liking right this moment. Hey. Try again? No.
I don't like it any better the
Don't
second
like it
time.
any better the second time. How about this? That's not the same. There you go.
That I will eat.
Try another piece.
Good job.
on, Cam. Good job.
They're asking how old. I'm thinking 18.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they're either 18 or they're gonna be 18. I think they were.
Born in 2000.
Yeah, I think it was like October,
Oh.
Hey,
or maybe that's when they were rescued.
hey. Cammy.
Aya wants to know if Cameron still gets liver.
He sometimes will eat liver. There's certain meds, people that he'll only take his meds and liver from, so he's still being picky about the liver. Sometimes.
But he hasn't wanted a sickle since.
Yeah. Since he got liver in the sickle.
squirted.
Really? You didn't like liver in your sickle?
Well, that's when we were doing the lactulose in his sickle.
Oh.
So he has a bad connotation with those. Hey.
Yes, Kimberly is correct. They were raised together for the bad purpose of creating ligers. He's been fixed, so that's why he has no mane. When a male lion has been neutered, they lose their mane.
There we go. So we got some of it in turkey, some of it in pork, and the rest of it went in the drum.
I always try to put a little bit extra in because I know that some of it gets.
Some of it got blotted out over here.
You were right, October 1st. Somebody here knew.
Somebody knew.
Well, he is my number one.
Yeah, Zebu gets plenty to eat. She eats her whole meal in the morning like a good girl, so that's why she doesn't need extra food in the afternoon. You see that poofy belly of hers?
Whew, she usually begs. We usually try to maybe give her one piece that's got like all the fat taken off.
She, got quite a little extra pooch going on.
And that can be as dangerous or more so than being too thin.
Yes. Definitely. As these guys get older, sometimes it's better for them to be a little thinner. Better on their joints.
I'm not seeing Dre.
Yes, Richard, it's because that mane is testosterone driven. So that's why in the wild, female lions look for males that have the biggest, fullest, darkest manes because they know that they have got the testosterone necessary to protect the pride.
Cameron says bald is beautiful.
Zebu says the same.
She says, I'll put up with it. It's been this long, huh? Listen to her
Married him for
whining.
better or worse.
You hear her whining?
Brittany, we almost never rescue cubs because nobody gets rid of cubs until they're too big to be used as pay-to-play props. The only cats who come here as kittens are orphans from the wild, so like bobcat kittens if their mom gets hit by a car or shot by a hunter. Those guys come here, but we rehab those and release them as soon as they're grown and able to protect themselves. Merle, she really is good about not getting in his face while he's eating.
If you've ever seen him go after her when she gets in his face when he's eating, you would know why.
It's not that she's polite.
It's
she's
not
just
that
smart.
she's polite, she's just been told several times. It's not a good idea.
These guys were both born in 2000, so they're both approaching 18 years old. Elizabeth, Zebu eats all of her food in the morning when we feed all of the other cats. It's just Cameron doesn't always eat all his food. Sometimes he doesn't eat any of his food.
Sometimes not. And then we only give him part of his diet in the morning because we want him to be a little hungry because he has a lot of meds that he gets in the afternoon.
Richard, that's a good question about how soon they should be neutered. So in their case, when they came here, they were 5 years old. They were almost a breeding age. And some cats breed younger than that, but the people who had them had been trying to breed them and had not been successful. So as soon as they got here, because they were so starved and in such horrible condition, we separated them until they were strong enough. And then he had a vasectomy, which allows them to keep their mane. And she was spayed, but he was later on neutered because he was just so aggressive, and that testosterone was just too much to deal with for a cat.
all of us.
And
all of us.
the main thing was we were afraid he was going to hurt her, because what he would do anytime the keeper approached the cage, he'd try to drag her away from the wall, and so we didn't want her getting torn up by him trying to drag her across the enclosure. So we decided
She's friendly.
to neuter him.
She didn't know she wasn't supposed to come talk to us.
Andre and Amanda are in the vacation rotation enclosure, which is that 2.5-acre enclosure back there. And so Becky's calling and calling and calling, trying to get those deaf old tigers, they're 22, to come over to the side and get his evening meds. Thank you, Rosita. Yes, Caitlin, he is a male, but he was neutered, and so he has lost his mane. You can adopt them, but only you can sponsor them. You can't take them home, and you can do that at bigcatrescue.biz. Happy Sunday to you, Judy Pie.
No?
The male lion on the left is Cameron, and the female white tiger on the right is Zabu.
All right, you're really done. All right.
Deb, thank you for posting the link to his bio page. Richard, that is thunder. We don't like to be out in lightning and thunder, but cats have to get their evening meds.
Rain or shine.
Yep. Hang on, everybody. I gotta swing those around while I pull it together.
Thanks for helping out, Daniel.
Dan, I can't wait till you see them at Wildcat Walkabout. Roxandra said Amanda's coming on fast.
Oh yeah, I bet she is.
Are you coming in hot, girlfriend?
She
And she does not need
hot.
evening snacks. It's just like Zabu, she eats
Not
plenty
one of
well.
those things, yeah.
Well, they really are scared of thunder.
Really?
So when they stepped out of the den, there was a big thunder, and Amanda's like, maybe I want to go back to the den. Andre just stopped. Got him locked in this section.
Well, thank you, Esther and Lorraine.
Up here. Sauntering.
Do you want to do it in his lockout?
Sadly, Susan, the cats are in danger from lightning. We've actually had a cat that was killed here by lightning years ago. The lightning struck a tree. You could tell from the path that it took. It struck a tree and bounced off the tree and hit the cat, even though he was inside one of these big concrete dens. It struck him right in the chest and killed him. And then we had another bobcat who apparently was leaning up against the side of her cage.
Hey.
I don't want you right behind me. That's Amanda sneaking up behind me there.
Dre, where you going, bud?
And lightning must have hit the cage, and it actually burnt
No?
the squares into
Come on,
her
bud.
fur. But she didn't die from it, which was really amazing.
Dre. Dre. I know, it's thundery. I don't know that I want to be out in this. It's thundery.
Yes, Polly. Usually what they try to do in zoos is a vasectomy because people just love that beautiful
I
mane on
know.
the lion. But, you know, if it were a tiger, we wouldn't even think twice about neutering them to
Nope.
protect them from being angry all the time.
We're not a
So we felt like we owed Cameron the same peaceful life.
The different smell.
That's great, Diane.
We'll disguise it a little bit.
Lori, I am sure Amanda was not chuffing at me. I just happened to be between her and the food she was chuffing at.
Oh. No much either?
That growl, that was Amanda at me.
Come here, Puddin'. Hey.
Veda, the cats who usually need sponsorship more than others are the ones that are not on the tour path. So a lot of times people don't even know those cats are here because they're never sick, so you never see them on the evening lives, and they're not on the tour path, so you don't see them there. Those would be cats like Sue and Lakota, the bobcats, or Ariel, the bobcat. Zimba used to be in the woods and nobody ever saw him, but he just recently moved onto the tour path. He's a serval. The ocelot, Perfection, is not usually visible.
How if we just put it on his tray?
Yeah, but I want to get lost. Hey. Dre.
Diane, thank you for wearing big cat gear. You guys
Come on,
can
bud.
get big cat gear at bigcatrescue.biz.
All right, guess we're gonna have to give it a shot.
Or you can get,
Try red.
like this shirt was an embroidered polo at catrescue.biz. Or hi. Is it nummy? He's so nummy. Has he eaten a good one yet?
Nope.
I'll stand back till he does. So she's got a pill hidden in one of those, and she's waiting to see that he actually swallows it.
No, I need you to eat that, bud.
Yeah, Maya Cougar.
He's done.
Savannah Cat, yeah.
Well, I think he just wants a drink.
Thank you, Liz.
Do you want me to lock him in there?
Maybe once he gets a drink, he'll eat.
A 20-minute drink.
20-minute drink. That's on the 360. I got him drinking.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, when I was walking around that morning, I walked over here to say hi to him, and he came in the lockout, and I was like, oh, chunk. I'm like, oh, that was easy. I just stood here for 10 minutes. So yeah, it's a whole 360 of him drinking.
Thank you, Debbie.
Hey,
Hey,
come
Paula.
here. I need you to eat, my bud. Andre, come on, handsome. I know the storm is very concerning.
That's why you need to eat now before it rains.
Come on, bud.
It won't be fun in the rain.
You can't go anywhere, Dre.
Yeah.
No. I can't get back out.
I think he's gonna like that.
Because you can't put a pill on a neck.
Right. Well, I can, but it will take a little doing.
You got some talent if you can get a pill in a neck. It's like nothing but gristle.
Come on, bud.
Amanda's right there. Ooh, pee on us. You just missed your sister.
But he is getting almost all 3 locks.
Great.
Look at her. She's like, hey.
Our locks are tiger pee resistant.
Yeah. Hey, you had a drink? You peed?
Okay. This one has like a little hole.
Alright, let's see. I know these are going to be squishy now, though.
I know. Oh, the hole goes all the way through though.
Oh, let's try a different one. Hey. Come on, bud. Come on, my handsome.
Be a big boy tiger tonight.
Hey.
You guys hear Cameron roaring?
See, he's telling you what he had for dinner. How about you?
He's way over there on the
Dre,
platform.
Dre. Come on, bud.
Come on, Andre.
Andre. I know. Come on, handsome boy. More drink? More drink. Okay.
Yeah, that was urine that he was spraying all over the place, and that's the main reason people get rid of exotic cats. When they get to be about a year, year and a half old, they start spraying. And it doesn't matter if you teach them to use the litter box, they spray to mark their territory. And in the wild, they would have hundreds of square miles of territory. So they got to be equipped of peeing all day, every day on everything. And they want to mark everything they want to keep as theirs, which usually includes their owners. And so that's why people get rid of them.
Maybe there's no thunder right now.
Wow.
Melissa, I'm so glad you can hear us now.
Thirsty boy.
They're asking if they're more comfortable with certain people than others.
Sometimes they are. Depends on the cat and depends on the keeper and what you're trying to get him to do. He knows we're trying to get him to do something specific, so.
Well, and we were just talking about Keisha. She seems to eat better for the boys.
Hey,
Not a lot of our cats like boys better.
thank God.
That is rare. Yeah, since we hardly have any males.
Come here.
Oh, you better get that. Oh, gonna pee again?
Can you eat and pee at the same time? No? No eating and
Pam,
peeing at
this
the
is
same
Big
time?
Cat Rescue in Tampa, Florida, and we are in the roofed section of the vacation rotation in the background, that 2.5-acre enclosure. They brought him into this roofed area to try and get him to eat his meds.
Going back in with your sister is not going to help this situation. No. Hey.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for slobbering on me.
I know.
I enjoyed that.
Hey, Angie, can you switch to free?
Maybe come back.
Hooting.
Who was the youngest tiger we ever rescued? It was probably Shere Khan.
Come on, bud.
You go to bigcatrescue.org/share-khan, Khan. It'll tell you how old he was when we rescued, because usually we have their date of birth and the date they were rescued. He's been dead for a few years, but it'll have that date too.
Can you lay down?
The cougars were pretty young.
Yeah.
Yeah,
6 weeks.
they were 6 weeks old. So the cougar cubs, we still call them cubs even
Yeah,
though
we
they're
do
like
still call
12 or
them
13
cubs.
years old. Hunter shot their mom in Idaho, and so they came here when they were 6 weeks old. I thought your question was tigers, but
Do you think they make a difference?
I wasn't paying attention.
I don't know. I think at this point he's riled up.
Hi, Bobby. Hey, I know I love you. I love you.
Yes, Karen, Shere Khan was one of our biggest cats at over 750 pounds.
Okay. Now it looks like I'm going to take it. Eat that neck. Good job.
Hey, Cindy.
Yes. Here you go. I'm going to take it. If you don't eat it, you better eat it.
Squirrel, you're not very smart.
We can play that game. With that one. You're all right, bud. Here, what, chicken.
Diana, the cats who are coming from Guatemala are pretty young. I don't remember off the top of my head how old they are, but I'm thinking they're pretty young.
Oh.
And the reason for that is those cats are coming from a circus, and typically the circuses can only use the cats until they become sexually mature. So once they get to be 5 or 6 years old is when they start killing their trainers. So they got to get rid of them by then. So that's why almost all of the cats coming from those two circuses in Guatemala are young. Interrupted? Oh no. Susan, I don't have a call coming in. I don't know why it's buffering.
So you have to threaten to take
Move
it
a
away.
bit.
Well, kind of. Or I have to give it to him with the tongs. He's
That's a
eating
silly
it if
game.
I pick it up off the slab, sort of. So he ate some. Not much.
Yeah, Penny, it's hard to really get a feel for how big these guys are until you see them right next to a person. Susan, he was eating because she kept threatening to take it away from him, and he's like, no, I'm going to eat that. No, I'm going to eat that. Do you want me to drop the door?
Yeah, if you're got a free hand.
Not really, but hang on, everybody. Oh, that was not good.
It'll be faster than the tongs.
So what I just did was close that door there so that she can safely reach in and pick up everything he didn't eat, because we don't want to attract a vermin. Sitting down, Kathryn.
No, I was gonna try to grab this and then go see if it'll eat.
All right, I'll finish grabbing. You want to give him one shot. Great tag team effort there. Neck around.
Hi. Yeah. No. But how about this piece? Okay.
Oh, careful. Amanda's like, my face is right here.
And he's not helping. Good girl.
Jessica, you're not at the end of the live because we came back here first. They wanted to catch Cameron while he was next to the wall of his cage, so they still have all of the other cats on the route to do, but they wanted to catch him and Andre while they were up here. Deb, thank you for posting that link. Katie wants to know what we do with the leftovers.
Because they've been out in the heat, we have to cook them away.
Did you guys hear that?
A lot of it, like, we'll give Amanda a couple pieces, but usually not out of his bucket. Because his food is closely monitored, we have to take it back and weigh it.
No. No, you ate a couple pieces. JJ.
Yeah, you're right. Usually Outback is last.
JJ.
We just had rain moving in, so they wanted to be sure and get Cameron before it started getting all wet, because he doesn't like to get his paws wet.
JJ.
Linda Hooper's been feeding himself at night. They've been having to leave food out for him overnight, and he seems to like
Well,
that
you ate a
program.
couple more
We
at
hate that program because you never know who else is going to be eating it and who you're attracting. But
Here's the girl. Thanks for not roaring in my face.
got her snack. Susan, we've known about Hooper's eating troubles ever since he arrived. When they first rescued him down in Guatemala, or in Peru, they did all kinds of diagnostics on him to try and discern what it is that's causing that problem. And he just has what's, I guess, similar to what we would think of as irritable bowel disease. Nothing that they can do to fix that. So he's on medications to try and make him not feel so icky. But he's just always been a very, very poor eater. Yeah, you can't get out that way either.
Alright, want to come in here, Bubba, and get a drink?
I'm not trapped anymore. Thanks for eating. At least a little bit.
Donna wants to know if he ate his meds.
He did. He did get his meds.
She's like, don't step on me, you old senile.
I love how they're supposed to be the same age, but she looks like she's half his age.
She's amazing.
She is amazing.
I want her plastic surgeon's name.
Oh yeah. Over 100 and she looks good.
Stop it, brother.
Okay. Now we'll go do everybody else.
Just as the rain starts pouring.
Well, you know. A lot of the others will come out in the rain.
Priya sure loved playing in the rain yesterday.
I bet.
Oh, in and out of the pool and racing around, acting like a maniac. Close my zippers up here. Sorry, everybody. Shut your eyes, it's gonna be wobbly. I don't want rain in my saddlebags. She is hiding the fountain of youth and not sharing.
Oh, gosh, yeah. I got both of them. Alright, so we're headed to Mac and Rice.
We're going totally backwards.
We're totally going backwards.
It does feel a little cooler. Of course, for us, cooler is like 88 instead of 91. But every degree matters. One of the issues with Tiger Lake is that because of the way the cage is constructed, it's not suitable for some of the younger, friskier tigers. So, like, see how that has a kick in at the top? If the tiger were trying to climb out, they'd be hanging upside down and backwards, and they can't get out of that kind of enclosure. But the ones down at Tiger Lake are just a straight wall. I think they're 16 or 20 feet tall, but and there's hot wire on them. But still, I just don't feel like they are sufficient to contain safely a cat who is capable of climbing and jumping and being crazy like some of the younger tigers. The ones that we have in there are typically either older or they've had some kind of lameness that keeps them from being able to climb up the wall. Thank you, Alexa. $108. That is crazy, Vanessa. How do people even survive those kinds of temps? I'll take Florida and its hurricanes and its gigantic bugs over those kind of temperatures any day of the week. Somebody's gonna feed Miss Risa. That big blue tarp there is a gigantic den that's being built so that we can move Natalia, the Amur leopard, over here and give her air conditioning of all things, because she does not like the heat. Hi. Hi there, Sleepy Mac. Were you waiting?
Throw it. how good my aim is.
See how good her vision is.
Ready? Girl. That's a good job. Ready? Pretty. Good girl. Good girl.
As Jamie said, when we're going to get those mats off her?
Oh, yeah. She, you think she doesn't like the stick. She likes the scratcher even less.
It looks like a stick.
So, yeah. We're going to have to probably sedate her to get those mats off.
We will trim her claws while that happens. She had a
You don't have any mats.
declaw job that was apparently done with pruning shears at some point in her early life, and that causes the claws to grow back in sideways and on top of her feet. And so usually once a year we have to trim all that back, and when we do, we can shave her because she's so old. She's 23 years old. She just can't groom herself anymore. Mac can't groom himself anymore, but he lets Matt, our keeper, comb him with a scratcher and actually even shampoo him
Good
from
job.
outside the cage. We don't
Good
put our hands in there.
job. Good job. I know Matt was very disappointed today because he came out, got a drink, and went back in his den. So he didn't get a shower today. Maybe next time, huh? You look pretty good though. For a cougar, they can't groom themselves.
I think we have 3 cats now who are 23. Tiger Lily Bobcat, Riza Cougar, and I think Frosty might be 23 now. In the wild and at most other facilities, these guys live to be 10 or 12, but here they almost always live into their late teens and early 20s. You're right, Sue. Mac and Matt are such a cute team together. Lori, Mac does have amazing eyes. Did Diablo ever overcome his
He
fear?
did, actually. Sarah actually got some video of him sitting at the bottom of the tree rubbing his face on it.
Oh, how wonderful.
He did, yeah. He did come over and actually rub on it.
So what we're talking about is Diablo, the Savannah cat back there, is really shy, and Sarah is leaving us. She's moving away, and so she really loves Diablo, and she's been working for months, I
Months on
understand,
this palm tree, yes.
building this cardboard palm tree scratching post for him, and it was just adorable. So they put it in his enclosure today, but we all ended up having to leave because he was not going to give us the satisfaction of seeing him enjoy it while we were wanting to watch him. Edwina, I'm sorry you got rained on.
She might be having a little trouble with the
Oh, that's
we
neat to
can
know.
head over to Frosty.
Okay, we were just discussing the fact that he is 23 years old, and I can't believe he's still alive. You know, usually something will start bringing down their kidneys, or what usually goes on them first, and so he's actually been in the hospital recently because he was doing so poorly, but they got him back up on his feet and eating again and taking his meds, and so he's back outside. As you can see, the keepers are checking on the cats every day. Daylight to dark, they're out here checking on the cats to make sure that they have a good quality of life and that they're not suffering when they get to be ancient like this. Cindy, the oldest cat who's ever been here, was 1 month shy of being 30. He was a cougar named Scratch. We had a leopard who qualified for the Guinness Book of World Records when he died at the age of 25. And we've had another tiger by the name of Flavio who lived to be 25. A number of them have lived to be 23. I don't know if we've had anybody that was 24. Can't think of anybody off the top of my head.
Yeah, because even like Divinity was 23, I think, too.
Apparently 24 is not a good year.
Ready for Mommy? Ready for Mommy? Hi. Are you gonna get the long stick? Are you gonna have to get the long stick? Will you come get Yummy? Will you come get some Yummy?
Yeah, a camera trap would have been a good idea on Diablo's cage. Yes, Jessica Saber was the leopard, the black leopard. Frosty. Come on, you can get up and walk over 1 foot for her, baby. Get the stick for her.
Not wanting to get up.
Let me take the short one.
Wants his breakfast or his dinner. Oh, where he is. Hey.
He's not spoiled.
No, not at all.
Where are you slinking off to, Ginger? Put it right in my mouth. Right in my mouth. Oh, now I see why Ginger was running. She was like, ooh, Becky, Becky's got treats.
No?
Hiya, this is Frosty. You can tell by his little white feet. That's how he got his name. Oh, you got frosted feet.
You know, I walk through here and I think Fluffy, Daisy, Pete.
You demonstrating your habit trail? Their enclosures are these sections that are joined by tunnels.
Frosty man, you're not liking ground turkey today? Huh?
That's so uncat-like. Everybody likes turkey.
Except the ones we need to like it. Try ground beef?
He had to pee.
He was licking that yesterday.
Now are you hungry? Did you make room?
Now that you peed,
Took some of that pressure off?
are you hungry now? You hungry? Come on, bud. Come on,
I'm
Mr.
gonna go
Frost.
get
Can I
served.
give you this?
Okay.
Oh.
Frost, Frost. Come on, bud.
Where are you going? Going down by your grocery? He says, I know that plate on the dashboard is extras. I want you to bring one for my girlfriend. And then she'll come talk to me more.
Do you want mommy? Aw. Have you and Andre been talking?
Yes, Elizabeth, it rains
Is this the
every
thing now?
day. The rain
Is this
just
the thing
can't
now?
soak in fast enough. As you can see, the cages are higher than the ground around it, so most of the standing water is where the poor keepers have to walk.
Yeah. Hi. Nope. But I'm not trying to catch you. I just want you to eat.
Help reviving you.
Who knows? Who knows?
Hey Dylan, can you go to 3?
And then I'll eat. You can eat by yourself.
They do things on their own time, for sure. What did you get? Did you get snacks?
Keep eating.
Serby's got fish snacks.
Well, actually, she just got red and chicken tonight, but I need her to eat some of that before I give her her med, so it doesn't upset her stomach.
I'm thinking of Sheena that only eats fish.
Yeah. And she was out playing with something, a little stick.
She says, I dropped one, Mama Becky. I dropped it outside.
Yeah, I'll get her some more as soon as I can.
She doesn't have a stick.
Get a. There we go.
Maybe she can get it herself. She's working it. You working it? I'm gonna get that. I got it with my little hooks.
Did she get it?
She sure did. Good job. You're so smart.
Why?
And so appreciative.
You gotta eat that
Yes,
piece
yes,
because
yes.
I got your pill in it.
What else do you have? I know that's got my pill in it. I gotta wonder, the way Sheena's playing with that, is it a stick or is it a snake? What are you chasing? Whatever she was chasing got away from her. Yeah, the cats never seem to mind the sound of the airplanes or the cars, or even when we have vehicles on the property, like the bobcat or golf carts or the weed whackers. None of that stuff seems to bother the cats. Lee, I don't know what it was. Whatever it was, it seems to have gotten away from her at the cage wall there. Becky, I'm sorry it's blurry. I'm standing back because I don't want the cat to not get her food and her meds. And unfortunately, I'm having to shoot through wire. Is that any better? Katie, some of them cover it, others do not, and all of the keepers know who does and who doesn't, so they know where to look. The cages are cleaned every day.
I'm walking away. It's okay. Go ahead. Eat the
Karen, I'm
rest.
glad you're in your happy place.
Eat the rest. Go on. she ate her pill.
Penny, the sound of a lion roaring can carry about 5 miles, so I'm pretty sure anybody at the hotel would be able to hear the cats roaring.
She's eating her mush.
Makes you happy when they eat their vegetables.
Oh yeah. 'Cause there's a lot of times she doesn't eat the mush, but I think if I break it up, that she does better.
Do you have to like shape it into little chicken legs and stuff like that, or?
No, just little pieces instead of just plopping a big ball on. Nikki Lyon's the same way. If you make her mush just little balls and put them on her tray, she'll eat most of them. But if you just put a softball on there, she leaves it. It's a personal touch.
It's all the love that goes into the presentation. You go to a fancy restaurant, you want the presentation to be right.
That's true. That's true.
When she says mush, she's talking about a ground diet that has the organs and bones and everything ground into it, because in the wild, these guys would eat the whole animal. So twice a week, they do get whole rats and whole rabbits, but every day we try to get them to eat some portion, hopefully the main portion of their diet being this ground diet that has all their vitamins and minerals mixed into it. Aya wants to know, when do the servals get chicks? Is that only when they're getting meds, or do they get that as part of their food?
Some of them who are really hard, like Survey's really hard. So she gets those Azadil supplements twice a day. And a lot of people will give it to her in a chick. I don't, because she already gets chicks, and they're so rich.
She'd be like 300 pounds.
Yeah. So I like to give her all the other stuff and save the chicks for the supplements.
The chicks really are a great part of the diet for them. And where those chicks come from is the egg industry. So people who raise chickens only want females. They can have one male that can service tons of females. So what they do is, as soon as the chicks are hatched, they separate out the boys from the girls, and usually the boys are like killed immediately. And so what we do is we buy them frozen and then feed them to the cats for those who need extra nutrition, or those who take their pills.
I had a hard time with the pill today, though. She chewed it out of the red, and then she didn't want to eat the red it touched.
Frosty's still picking it.
Now, of course, there's exceptions to that, like Sheena. She gets more chicks than most of the other cats because she can't eat the mush or the red.
Yeah, Nikki, if it looks good, it must taste good.
Oh,
Cindy,
here's
that is a great
chili
sound.
mush.
Yeah, right. Ginger is like one of the worst mush offenders.
See, I will eat frogs and snakes and
But
lizards,
we
everything.
do have a little bit of extra here. And I know that she left her baseball and mush this morning. So maybe if we give her a little bit of ground beef.
Mama Becky's making excuses to give you something.
Well, she is not fluffy.
She's beautiful. You get lots of
Frosty did
exercise,
ask for you
don't
to
you?
get a treat. But this means you have to go do some love talk with Frosty.
She has got trained well. She's like already headed towards the lockout. Like, I know I'm getting
Love
something
talk
from
with
Becky.
your boyfriend? You do some love talk with your boyfriend? Huh? Do you?
So exciting! Oh my God, it's so exciting!
This is from Frosty. No, you're like really like wanting to get me, aren't you? Come over here. Hey, come over here. Come here. Over here.
I know that trick.
Yeah, she does know that trick.
So what she's trying to get her to do is focus in a different direction so she can safely toss that in and not get nailed. Or not bounce it off her head, because they're like, here,
Daddy,
here,
they're not
here.
this.
Christy, we have a different philosophy than zoos. We don't believe these animals should be bred for life in cages, because we feel like that's just prison for them.
Is Frosty eating?
He's picking.
Oh. Frosty, so she has to do some love talk with him.
He's picking at it right now. He still has his face in the bowl, but he's not eating really fast.
Just making sure there's nothing. Oh, Ginger's plate's clean.
All done?
She's like, that's all?
He's still got his face in the bowl, but
He's flicking that tail.
he's eating very slowly.
You guys who love the cat sounds are going to love the new thing we're doing on Alexa. We're working on it right now. If you go to Alexa and say open, well, you have to go to the skills and enable Big Cat, but then you can just say, Alexa, open Big Cat, and she'll tell you about cubs. She'll tell you rescue stories of the cats. She will, what else will she do? She'll tell you the news around the sanctuary. And the one that we're working on right now is name that cat sound. So we have probably, I don't know, 30.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, 30 different cat sounds. And some cats make a lot of different sounds. So you have to guess the cat sound. And we're working on that right now. It's not in the app yet, or in the skill yet. But if you have an Alexa, go to skills and choose Big Cat and enable that. You can also get it in your daily briefing. So if you're like me, first thing in the morning, you want to know what the weather is, you want to know what the news at Big Cat Rescue is. So you can go to your, oh, you're so cute. You can go to your daily briefing and choose Big Cat
Look at you,
News
silly girl.
there, or Big Cat Briefing rather.
You silly girl. Who's the silly girl? Who's the silly girl? Look at that belly. Look at that belly. She's like, I know I'm cute. Why don't you go do that down by Frosty? He'd like that.
You just broke the internet, girl.
Why don't you go do that by Frosty? He'd really like that.
What are you doing, cuteness?
She is awful cute. Look at that white belly. Of course, she looked at me and hissed anyway, so. She can be cute and still be hissy. So, how do you do?
Well, thank you, Deb. The daily briefing was broken there for a couple of days, but this morning my developer had it up and running again, so that's good. Katie, she is a serval, which is often referred to as the poor man's cheetah. Cheetah sell for about $55,000, and a serval sells for about $2,000, $2,500. So people get them as pets, and then they realize a year and a half later when they're peeing all over the house what a dumb idea that was. Yeah, Paula, the Echo Dot is very inexpensive. And I have just become a huge fan of Echo. I never had one before, but I've got a Echo Spot in my office and an Echo Show in my office at the sanctuary and an Echo Dot. And I just bought a Fire TV, and that is so cool to just be able to say, Alexa, turn on the TV. Alexa, look for my favorite shows. And it does it all without you having to deal with the controllers. Kathy, there are no cheetah at Big Cat Rescue, and the reason for that is that cheetah are so inbred. I mean, just, it's crazy. Their DNA is like 98% identical from one cat to the next because they're so inbred, and that's both in the wild and in captivity. But the result of being so inbred is they don't live very long, and because they don't live very long, they don't end up being sold into the pet trade very frequently. So they don't end up needing to be rescued from people who find out that they pee all over everything. So they're mostly in zoos. Hardly ever see them in private collections. And you're right, they shouldn't be for sale in the first place. Who are we to be trading in these magnificent animals? Deb, thank you for posting that link. Lee, I love Chromecast. That is another great way you can like pull up Big Cat Rescue videos on YouTube on your phone and cast them to your TV with a Chromecast. And the quality is pretty amazing. Susan, thank you for posting that link to bigcatact.com. That's our primary goal here. Main reason we exist is to end the trade in these cats as pets and props and for their parts. And you guys can help us by getting that bill
You're
passed.
the show.
She is. It's the Cerebral Show.
The Ginger Show. I had to just leave it and walk away. It wouldn't come over to it.
So long, I had to zoom out to get your whole body.
Coming back. Ginger Show. It's the Ginger Show. So we just have Perfection and Keisha left. You're being so cute.
You know, Carol almost had me turned because we've been going back and forth for I don't know how long, years. Cutest baby. And she always says bobcat, and I always said like serval or lynx. Well, and then she almost had me turn to bobcats. But
Didn't know I had
then-
so much influence.
Then I saw the picture of Tonga as a baby.
Oh, was
That's
he
it.
adorable?
That's it. I was right the first time.
It's hard to compete with those big ears.
Oh,
is hard
and
to
that
compete
spot
with those
right
ears.
here on his head. Oh my gosh.
Those big ears, they are super cute.
Takes him about a year and a half to grow into those ears.
Yeah.
Perfection.
Simba, are you loving the new spot? Yeah? Get to see everything happening? Here's Gilligan. Hey, Gilligan. Woo. Woo. Not gonna make your Gilligan sound for me? Would I ever? We could be Enrichment. I could do it on command. Hey, Pharaoh. So the kitten that Becky was saying is now her pick for cutest kitten ever was Pharaoh's brother, Tonga, when he was a baby. And you can imagine those giant ears on a teeny tiny baby kitten body, how cute that would be. Thanks for asking, Jennifer. And Susan, thank you for directing her to our donate page. I think we will call it a night here with beautiful Pharaoh. Even though they have 2 more cats on their list, they're cats who are not going to come out if I'm anywhere near it. They're going to feel like there is something up and there might be a vet visit involved, and I don't want to scare them. So I'm going to say goodnight to you guys for now. Thank you everybody for joining us and sharing this and all of your great comments and answers to everyone. I really, really appreciate it. See you tomorrow.